Welcome to my channel, Tea Talks with Joe. I am on my YouTube. I am on my Facebook Live, Tea Talks with Joe. As I said earlier, I don't own the rights to this music. This is Mary J. Blige. You are everything. This is Mary J. Blige. You are everything. I don't own the rights. But we're going to let this play for a little bit while we get some more people in the group on Facebook. If you're not in my all women's group, look up Tea Talks with Joe, Facebook. You'll see brown and white, two ladies sipping tea, sitting there chatting with each other. That's my group. Join in. And we're going to give a couple of minutes, YouTube, for some people to join in on the live. Tonight we are talking about finish the race. Finish the race, finish what you started, and watch how everything just blow up and explode and leave a great legacy for you. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Gonna let Mary play for a little bit, and then we're gonna start right on in. Hey Keisha, hey Leisha, thank you guys for joining in on the live tonight. I hope you enjoy this great message I have prepared. Finish the race. It's tough, but we got to do the work, and we're going to finish it all the way through. We're not giving up. Not this time. We're not giving up. We may have started before, and we didn't finish, but this time we started, and we're going to finish it all the way through, and we're going to see the great results of our work. So let's give just a couple of minutes while we're waiting. And my YouTube followers, again, if you're not on my group, Tea Talks with Joe, please join the group. It's an all-women's group that I have on Facebook, Tea Talks with Joe. But however, when I'm doing my live videos on YouTube, it's for any and everybody that can apply it. I just like to kind of connect with the ladies on a personal level. So my group on Facebook is for ladies. Nothing against the guys, but ladies, we carry a lot of things, a lot of times, in a lot of areas. So no offense, but we got to give a little special catering to the ladies. All right. The dogs out there barking about the bite each other. Alrighty. That was not my dogs. We're going to get started. I don't want to hold you ladies too long. So we're talking about tonight, we're going to cut Mary down. She gave us a good introduction because you are everything. You are everything in every way. And don't let no one tell you anything different. So tonight, like I said, I'm talking about finish the race. Finish the race. And I wrote down some notes, and I'm just going to jump right in on this hump day, Wednesday, so that we can kick it into gear and finish this week out with a bang. So finish the race. Okay. So we can think back to some things that we have started, such as businesses we may have never finished. And years go by and we ask ourselves, what if it worked? And by now I could be worth millions. Or like going back to school. I started school, but I didn't finish. What would have happened had I finished school? Where would I be now? Or what would have happened if that relationship worked? Or what would have happened if that marriage worked? What would have happened if I moved to a new state? Or I took that new job promotion? What would have happened? So we go back and we think about all those things, about things that we started that we did not finish. Hi Ashley, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. We think about those things that we've started and we have not finished. I give this example because I want you to think about something. It's like cooking food. When you're preparing a meal, you don't want to eat the food until it's fully done and you're ready to prepare it. You don't eat the chicken when it's still raw in the middle. Some of us like our chicken crispy. Some of us like it almost to its burnt. You want well done prepared food. And I use that example as when we're talking about finishing the race. We want to fully do it. We want to fully complete it so that we can enjoy it when we're ready to partake in it. So remember that, because I'm going to give another example at the end of this, at the end of my notes, at the end of this live, in this video. So it's just like cooking. We don't wanna eat it prematurely. So we got to finish it all the way through. So again, we think about, what if I didn't finish? Where would I have been? If I did finish, where would I have been? Whom would I have been married to? What areas in my life would I have grown? Where would I be mentally and physically had I not gave up and I finished what I started years ago, months ago? Every time we start something new and we don't finish, months and years go by and that thought resurfaces over and over again. Those what if thoughts, they start all over again. Months and years go by. So finish the race. It's not too late to start a new race. And it's not too late to be placed as the first runner-up or the third runner-up. It doesn't matter what place you come in, but as long as you finish. So just think about when you're starting up a new business. So I'm going into some examples that I have here. You start a new business and it's going slow. No one is really giving the business any attention. Nobody is sharing your posts. Nobody is buying your products. Nobody is supporting you. You working all day. You working all night. And you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. But you got to keep going. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. Things don't begin to flourish until we keep nurturing it. If we start prematurely, we never know where it can go. But you got to keep doing whatever it is in you to do. Start that new business. Start that passion that you have in you. Just like me, starting out with my videos, with my live. And then now I have my certificate as being a life coach. I got to keep going. Once it's out there, keep going. Don't matter if you're not getting as many followers at the beginning. Don't matter how many people are on board with it. Just keep nurturing it. Keep going. Because it's not for everybody. And sometimes I think that we always look for a validation. We're looking for someone to tell us or validate what we're doing. And it's not for them to get. Your passion, your vision, your business, it's not for everybody to get. So don't get discouraged when that happens. Finish the race, because some of your supporters may and may not be friends and family. Sometimes it is friends and family, but they're going to be some strangers. But you just got to be open to reach other people. Finish the race. Here's another example. We're getting personal now. We talked about business. Let's get a little bit personal. Finish in the race in your dating and in your relationships. So if it's not a deal breaker, of course, there's not any mental or physical abuse, but there are challenges in each relationship. There's challenges in friendships. There's challenges in people you're dating, people that you are in relationships with. It's so easy to throw in the towel. But are you willing to finish the race? Are you willing to be stretched a little bit? Are you willing to compromise a little bit? Are you willing to change how the way you're thinking about some situations in a relationship? That's friendship, dating, and exclusive relationship, in a marriage. All is going to require some work. So we can't be always so easy to say, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm done. We all get tired. We get tired in starting businesses. You get tired in going back to school. You get tired in working with the opposite to make this thing work. And it's constantly going to be work. Every day we go to our jobs, it's work. But we have to finish what we started and finish the race to see the outcome of your work, to see the fruit of your labor. So you're always in that pulling and strengthening and growing in some areas and stretching so that you can get to the finish line. You have to finish the race. So just like in marriages, as we know, it's tough. You know, marriage is more work than it is with dating or in a relationship. You got to have a little bit more patience. You got to be submissive, knowing when to be silent. That goes for dating too. We're still talking about finishing the work because this is the work process. You got to know when to be silent. That doesn't mean to be ran over. That just means to know when to be silenced, to stop from arguing. Some things you got to let nest for a minute before you strike up and want to be in an argument. You got to know about compromising, encouraging, discipline, obedience. That requires for you to stretch in those areas that you never thought that you could do. That's finishing the race. That's not saying, you know what, I'm tired of him, I'm tired of her. I could just be by myself, because that's the easier thing to do. But when you are in a relationship, you can apply this to anything: marriage, friendship, relationship, your work ethics, starting a new business, going back to school. Just because it gets tough doesn't mean you put it down and walk away from it. That just means I got to take a different approach. I got to take a different route, but I'm finna finish this race. This way I'm going right here ain't working for me, but let me do this right here and let me get back online. I may have to get there a little different than other people. The way they got there may not work for me, but I got to be genuine to me. Let me do me, and I can finish this race. So like I said, dealing with relationships, I'm not by all means condoning any type of physical or verbal abuse or adultery or anything that causes that is a non-tolerance. I'm talking about the things that we have to work on self as far as finishing the race. Because what we have to realize is that the things that we do for self, as far as strengthening ourselves mentally and physically, that's for the duration, that's longevity. So when we're saying I need to work on being a little patient, I need to work on being a better listener, I need to work on compromising, I need to work on knowing that everything is not about me. I'm a bit selfish. I need to work on me. That's finishing your race. All those little things tie into everything that you got to do. With whatever race that you started, a lot of people don't think about those things, but what's going on in here has a lot to do while you're not finishing your race. So you got to do those little works. Everything that entails with that, you got to work on that. And I talk to myself too, because one thing that I'm working on with myself is patience and listening. Because I'm a great listener, but if something don't register in me and I think I want to go like, get ready to go off, I've learned how to silence my mouth. And sometimes it's hard for me, but it is a learning process. But I know that this is a part of me finishing my race. So that's my personal walk. All of us know our personal walk. That's one of mine. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I hold myself accountable when I do talk prematurely before I receive what done came in, that the message is trying to get to me. Someone is telling me something and I feel like, oh, they trying to come at me some type of way. And I'm ready to go attack with my mouth. But that's a learning for me. Hush my mouth, take it in, let the hair roll up off my back a little bit, let my underarms sweat, let me get a little bit out of my own way, and then I know how to respond. So that's a part of also with me, with everything that I'm trying to do, everything that I got going on, that's a part of my work of finishing the race. So let's jump into this one. Finish the race with self-esteem. A lot of people, myself at one point, and I'm still doing a weight loss journey. When I had to lose weight after having my youngest daughter, that was tough. But I was determined, finish that race. If you want to go on a weight loss journey, don't let it just be a New Year's resolution. Be a healthy you, period. And finish that race to the end. Working on your outer appearance. If you want to spunk it up a little bit. You want to get a new haircut. Want to get some new color in your hair. You want to dress a little different. You want to start wearing a little bit more jewelry. Getting some earrings. Putting on some lipstick. For guys, you may want to spunk it up in your own little way. You may want to start wearing you some hard bottom shoes. You ain't got to wear tennis shoes all the time with your jeans. You might want to start looking a little grown and sexy. That's a part of you finishing your race, because that is your self-image of who you are and who you're projecting to be. That's finishing your race. That's doing the work. Want to get your teeth fixed. Got to invest some money in today. That if you want to do that. But that's just part of your self-image, whatever that is to you. I got my teeth fixed in 2009. I wore braces for about 3 years. That was a part of me doing some work. So that's part of your self-image. What's going on with you mentally? We hit on that for a little bit. Being a little bit more patient. Putting away some childish games. Some childish thoughts. Challenging yourself to drop bad habits and addictions. Finishing the race. That's a tough one. Bad habits. Maybe you curse too much. Maybe you drink too much. Maybe you got other addictions. Maybe you got some other things going on that's hindering you from finishing your race. With breaking bad habits and addictions, it's just like avoiding the negativity, avoiding the naysayers. Grow at your own pace. Don't allow yourself to continue to be in, first, the wrong circle. So if you really trying to do some things, change some things with you mentally, you want to go in another direction, you're trying to build some things in your life, you want to get a little bit more positive, you got to get another circle of people if you are with the ones that are not leading you in the right direction. That's finishing the race. The hardest thing to do is tell people that you say that that's your friends, you can't kick it with them no more. That's hard. Because you're thinking about what they're going to say, and, they're going to talk about me. I'm not going to have any friends. I'm going to be lonely. They're going to think I'm trying to be all this, that, and the other. Well, yes, you are. Because that requires for you to do that, because you are this, that, and the other to get where you need to be. As far as finishing your race, that's a personal thing. That's not for them. They on their own race. You on your own race. So if you got to cut some people off that's blocking you from getting to the finish line, you might have to cut some family off. The negativity, the ones that's always riding on your back. You trying to get stuff done. You working on the business. And every time you turn around, here they come. They need this. They need that. They want to pull on you here. Pull on that. They holding on to your coattail. And every time you try to run, you ever try to run with a backpack on? That's that weight that you carrying around. That could be friends. That could be family. That can be a lot of things. At some point, you're going to have to take that backpack off. You remember running home from the school bus? You got books all in the back and you trying to run with your friends. Eventually, what you did when you stopped, you took that backpack off. I'm going to have to let you down for a minute. Whew. And then you drug it home. But I don't want you to drag the baggage behind you. If you take the backpack off, make sure you're at the house so you can leave it off. Don't allow it to block you from finishing. Getting to the finish line. Here's another example. Finish the race when it comes to your children, to your kids. Now, I'm talking to my ladies group over here, YouTube, and the ladies that are on YouTube. We birthed them. We birthed these kids. We started that. We brought them into the world. We birthed them. So we got to finish the race, even when we want to turn them loose. Because they getting on your nerves. They doing things you don't agree with. You hurt. You embarrassed. You going back and forth with them. You're praying. You're tired. And I use the word tired. A lot of people don't say that, but I know how that feels mentally when you're dealing with children. But you got to finish the race with these kids. You can't give up on them. As easy as it is for you to say, bye, I'm done. The hardest thing is to not be done. That doesn't mean that you allow them to disrespect you or you allow them to run over you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what's in here, what's in that ticker that you're fighting for. Finish the race with your children until they become mature adults, young adults, that they able to say, okay, I got it now. Thank you, mama. Thank you, daddy. I got it. I appreciate everything that you taught me. I'm ready to go on. No, I got it now. I can do this now. You got to finish the race because what you're fighting for is the relationship with your child. You cut them off too prematurely. Sometimes that damages the relationship because their brains are still developing. They don't really understand. They understand, but they don't really get it like we do and how we had to learn it. And that becomes from just maturing that we can really say, I appreciate what my mom and my dad did. So we got to finish the race when it comes down to these kids. It's tough. I always say that. It's tough with everything that we discuss, but that is a tough thing with marriages, family, kids, relationships, and then with yourself. So we have to finish that race. Finish your race for your legacy. So all these key points, all these examples we just talked about, and like I say, it's always many and many and many or more. All of these tie back into your legacy. The way you handle yourself, the way you handle your spouses, the way you take care of yourself, the way you handle your kids, the way you take care of your children, the way you present yourself, what you say out your mouth, you know, what aura you giving about out from yourself, that ties into your legacy. And you have to, I would say have to, but it's very important to finish the race for that. Okay, so we talked about earlier the example of cooking. We talked about the example of cooking. We don't want to eat no half-done food, right? So if you're cooking and you're preparing a meal, Guess what you also doing when you cooking? You're adding in seasonings, okay? Got your salt, pepper, paprika, oregano, cayenne pepper, what else out there? Garlic salt, garlic powder, whatever you like to put into your seasoning. So you're adding in there. Each seasoning, I want you to think of that as that's your patience, that's your love, that's your forgiveness, that's your compromising, that's your work ethics. That's a good one. That's your endurance, that's your strength. That's you pouring in all these things that you need to finish the race. When you're dealing with a relationship that you're ready to throw in the towel with, throw a little bit of that patience in there. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. When you thinking of giving up in that business, that's your endurance, that's your strength, that's your vision that you keep looking at. Throw some of that in the pot. Keep cooking it until it's almost done. And then what you do when it's almost done, you go take your little sip, you taste it. I'm going to taste my tea. You take a little sip. And then you say, oh, that's pretty good, but you know what? I might need a little bit more salt. So whatever you need, let's throw mine in there. Listening more. Let me throw some of that in my pot, because my food ain't done yet. So I throw my salt in there for my listening. I want to be a great attentive, and I speak that because I'm talking to clients and I am a great listener. So I throw that in there. So then we're going to taste it again. Okay. That's taste right there. That's right there. Now, after the food get done, what we ready to do now? We gonna serve it to our families. Okay? Some of y'all probably mixed that. Some of you missed it. You did the work. You threw in there what you needed to do for yourself, for your legacy. When that food got done, then you prepared it, put it on plates, and your family ate from it. They ate from your work. They ate from your efforts. They ate from all of your bending and stretching and learning how to be a better you. You prepared that meal from them and they ate from you. And they'll continue to eat when you do those things. When you finish the work and you finish the race, they'll eat. And they'll keep coming back to the table. And then your daughters will learn how to cook. And they'll prepare that same meal or some meals for their family as well. But that's your legacy. So you finish in the race. So finish what you have started. See it through to the end so that you can celebrate the results. I know many of my friends that are starting up businesses. It's hard. While everybody else chilling, they working. It's tough. And they want to chill. They want to go on 3, 4, 5-day vacations. Now is not the time. They working. They in that pot so that they can feed it to their families to eat. And then everybody eat and partake and be good. Then it's time for us to celebrate. So I encourage you to finish the race. I don't want to keep you long tonight. I just wanted to step in and give you some motivation. I hope you guys really enjoyed it tonight. But I would say finish the race and finish so that your legacy, whatever you want that to be, when you leave here, can live on forever. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I really enjoyed you guys. I had some good views tonight on the live. I appreciate it. YouTube, thank you for watching the video. Tea Talks with Joe. And until next time, it's been so great. See you later.